right. Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, just so you guys know, this is going to be a little like 30-minute segment where I'm going to do some fictional storytellings just to say thank you and just spread the love and just hang out with you guys a little bit. This is going to be for all subscribers and members. And just know I will be doing this every week for like 30 minutes on each channel. Okay. So each week. So with that in mind, it'll be different times, different days, all of that. I'm not going to try to keep it to a schedule because I'm hoping that it'll make it more flowy and free style so that, you know, different people in different parts of the world will get a shot each week. And so they're going to be just quick little messages. And with that in mind, let me go ahead and get started. For the first like 6 or 7 minutes, I'm just going to focus on some members card pulls first. And then after that, it'll be all subscribers. Okay. So just so that you know. All right, you guys, really nice to see you all. You guys are so wonderful. All right, here we go. Hey, Holly Light. Hang on, Holly Light. I'm going to grab you one right now. You know, I did get to you that other day also. Remember, I was about to get to you, and then Aries interrupted, and I had to disappear for just a second. And I promised you I'd get to you immediately when I got back, and you were the first, but I never saw you in the chat, so I don't know if you got it. So let me make sure that you get one right now, and then I'll shift over and focus on members for like the next 6 or 7 minutes, and then we'll go back to everybody, okay? But Holly Light, we got a High Priestess, and we have got the Six of Swords. High Priestess says we have got a character very intuitive, sensing that their life is about to get much, much calmer. Anytime a High Priestess shows up, so Virgo, Cancer, or Pisces energy from me, there's this sense of maybe things have been really bumpy, really rocky. This could be in relationships, this could be in emotions, this could be in life in general. But it's like the High Priestess is both sensing that a change is in the wind, which is super positive. Maybe sometime after this full moon, but also a High Priestess is part of the moon. She works with the power of the moon. She's the divine feminine, and she can pull energy in to make things calm. So I almost feel like if ever there were a time for the divine feminine to start imagining the calm that she wants to experience in her life, or the calm in her world, or I think just through her sheer willpower, and her, like what she's emanating outward, which is, I want peace. I want a calmer world. I want a calmer life. I want someone to mellow out. I want to avoid, huge storms. I think the energy that she is putting out is so incredibly potent right now that she is going to yield results, which is amazing because we have things getting better. After this full moon, there is a turn of events or a turn of the energy flow that makes things better for her, which is really great to see. All right, next up, here we go. AC, hey, babe. Here we go. We got a Four of Cups and the Hanged Man. We have somebody meditating heavily, sitting on a fence, meditating over the concept of love. And I would honestly say seeing things from a different perspective, possibly seeing things in themselves, but also seeing things from the divine masculine and feminine perspectives, which is kind of an amazing thing to think about being able to do. Anytime we can see things from the yin and the yang, either within ourselves or how that pertains to us versus the role somebody else is playing in our life, it's pretty impressive, because this card is less about, illusions and missed opportunities and sorrow and boredom, and more about, let me find a way to match somebody's energy. If they're delayed and they're trying to think about things from different perspectives, let me match that. Let me consider from their headspace or heart space, what would make somebody pause or be uncertain about something or need to reflect. Let me get in someone else's shoes for just a moment, even if it requires me to, I may not have the same hangups that they do or the same experiences in life that they do, but I want to understand someone else's point of view. So I'm going to meet them. If they're hesitant or they're pausing, let me picture if I were in their shoes, why would I be doing that? And it just kind of looks like we have a character that is, obviously she's able to emanate all this really pure energy. She's in this, bright white, she's sitting cross-legged, and she's, kind of like meditating, but love is what is growing and, kind of like emanating from her subconscious and crown chakra. I would just say this is somebody who's getting much more peaceful instead of frustrated by another person's procrastination. And I think it's because she's using that ability to step into someone else's shoes and say, why would they behave this way? Let me consider that. Let me not take it personal. Let me not take it as an insult. Let me ask, why would anybody do this, that, or the other thing? Let me picture what it would be like to walk in their shoes for a moment. And we can see her just like completely like blossoming from that. It's so good to see the lack of like tension and see all that fading away. So really, really awesome to see that there. Indigo Moon next. Here we go, babe. Let me grab you one. We have got the Two of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords. So the choice here, I want to sing She Got the Whole World in Her Hands. She got the whole world in her hands. And that a song that, you know, that like you'd sing in like, I'm not a religious person, but, you know, as a kid, you know, I went to different things, you know, like with friends, or, you know, I remember going to some like kids like Bible camp type thing. And that was a song that was always really fun, you know, singing about God holding the whole world in his hands. But in this, it makes me think of that. So we could have a character that is feeling very empowered, very connected to their creator, very connected, and saying, you know, what's really cool is I mirror that. I create my universe also. I have the gift of, you know, creating the life that I want. And I'm at a point, this could be about work, because she sits here on the filing cabinets and we got Boss Babe written on her clipboard, but she's sitting here saying it's less about me filing and thinking about like a career that I'm trying to create. And it's more about, what do I want my life to look like? My career is the leverage. It helps me get the life that I want. But when I think of it in that context, it makes me much more confident about either asking for those raises or going after other jobs that I might really, really want, because it takes away my, like, I'm not saying this is an insecure character anyway, but it takes away the concept of, oh, I have to, you know, stay in this job and figure out how I'm going to make more money. That's not what the real question is. The real question is, what do I want my life to look like? What will get me that life? And now we say, okay, now that the job is actually secondary. It's not so much, oh, I got to be nervous and then I got to be worried and fear, like a lack perspective in the concept of like, I got to make more money. I have to do this. I have to do that instead, or be worried about like knocking on doors or finding different jobs or asking for those raises. The worry of that goes out because she's doing it for a bigger purpose. It's like, oh no, this is just me going after stuff that I want in my life. The job is the vehicle, but it's not the destination. So it makes things like work a little bit, yes, it's still very important, but it's not really what we're doing. It's not what we're here for. We're not here to work a job. We're here to live a life. And in order to live the life we want, then we'll find different jobs that support that. But it makes it a little bit more like easy to navigate, and it makes it a little easier maybe for her to say, yeah, if I'm not digging this, it's not giving me the life that I want. That's my motive for changing, or that's my motive for asking for those raises. It's not, there's no fear anymore, because it's all just about like a positive, like I'm leaning for the life that I want. The job is just the vehicle. It's not stressful to change cars. So why would it be stressful to change jobs or to pursue what she wants? I just think this is a character that's very motivated by the most positive thing ever, which is I'm living my best life and I'm always going to pick for my best life. And that makes my approach is much more streamlined, makes her much bolder, much more fearless, much more confident, because she got something else that's motivating her. You know, I dug that. That's a really nice way to look at it so differently there from what I can see. All right, next up, let's see here. We are going to go to Inquisitive Eyes. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Inquisitive Eyes. And Tina's just passing. Let me get you one first, Tina. Thank you so much. So Tina's just passing, just gifted Inquisitive Eyes a membership. So Tina, let me get to you first, babe, and then I'll get to you, Inquisitive Eyes, okay? We've got the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Cups. Eight of Swords is all about, normally it's about blocks and blockages, but this card's different. We have the blockage down here, and then we have our hero racing in. Happens to be a feminine hero racing in. And this is very much like Athena. You know, Athena is, you know, basically Greek for victory, right? Even the word like Nike, the Nike swoosh, you know, that means victory. It's pronounced Nike in Greek. But like, you know, those, Nike is like, you know, the street of victory, like the name of the street. But Athena is associated with, you know, victory. And she's here riding on this steed, in this case, in all of her armor. And we have victory over being stuck. But the answer here, like how do we have victory over being stuck, is remember that there's other solutions. If we have a character who wants to get beyond some trapped mentality or something that they feel stuck in, it says, well, first off, why are we stuck at all? Why don't we maybe take a look at what other choices could we make? Now, obviously, not all things do we just have like a plethora of choices to make, right? But there's some choice that we can still make, some power that we have in almost any situation. So let's say, just simply, let's say this is somebody's thinking very much about things like a relationship. And it's like, I feel so stuck in this relationship, or I'm living a groundhog in this difficult relationship. And then it's like, but wait a second. Let me consider this. Do I have to be in this relationship? Do I have to tolerate something that I don't want? Have I approached whatever the conflict is in a way that would allow me to say what I really need to say? Have I maybe asked a question instead of, maybe they said something, it hurt me, and I'm stuck on it, but what if they didn't even mean it that way? So maybe I could ask that question. What did you mean when you said that? Because it's still been stuck in my head. It just says that our character has this way of getting around a problem and being very victorious. And, Athena is also known for great wisdom. So the wisdom to get unstuck on something is to realize that I have a different choice to make in how I handle the situation. And I'm just going to keep saying that has something to do with what our character says. And how they use their emotions to their advantage. And it might be speaking about the emotions could be the breakthrough there. Really nice to see that. That's really sweet. All right, just a second. Let me backtrack. All right, and now Inquisitive Eyes, let me get to you, babe. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Oh my God, you guys hang in there just a second. I see some of you there, and I want to be able to say thank you. Just a second, I'll get right back to you. Inquisitive Eyes, here we go, love. Inquisitive Eyes, and by the way, welcome. You're now a member as well, courtesy of Tina. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords in the reverse, and we have the Strength card. I feel like somebody is saying, I am determined. I'm going to make things right. I'm going to fix this. Strong Leo energy. This is somebody willing to fight for a connection. Especially if they're like, no, I do not want to let somebody feel like they got betrayed or hurt by me. I'm determined. I can course correct this. I can take away the hurt. This feels like somebody who really, really wants to set things right. Maybe there's been a huge misunderstanding, but they're brave enough to have the tough conversation, especially because they either need to take away the hurt if they feel like they caused that, or they really want to say that's not how this was. You have to let me explain it. But they are very much they're dressed up in their what is it, luchador costume, like they're ready to do like some wrestling with their words to try to really get the point across. And so it just looks like this isn't somebody aggressive. This is somebody brave and saying, no, this has to be course corrected. I don't want a heartbreak to be something that someone has to carry, especially if it's my fault. This feels like a masculine who wants to fix something. All right, I'm going to leave that one there. And now let me just backtrack here for just a second. Sunshine, thank you, Angel. So sweet. Thank you, honey. Let me grab you one right now. That's really generous. Thank you, babe. All right, we have got the Lovers upright, the King of Cups sideways, Gemini energy, and then we are bringing in with the King of Cups some water energy, but he's sideways. Now, here's the only problem that I see with this. The Lover's card is always cards of choice, and we have something very divine. Sometimes, for me anyway, if a king or a queen goes sideways, we either have shared energy or we have somebody that's just a little bit in the karmic vibe, like their fears might be kicking in. They might not want to show all their emotions. They want the other person to show emotions more first. They might, I'm not saying like totally put up emotional obstacle courses to try to get somebody to say what they need to hear. It might be more of a subconscious thing that they do that. They're a little aloof. They're hoping the other person will bring them out of their shell just a little bit. This just could be somebody who's actually kind of shy or nervous, but we got two people that seem to be very into each other. But you notice how she's definitely like leaning more into him. His hands are still like here in his pockets, and she's the one like reaching up to, touch his collar bone here. It's like, and I do kind of think that these two cards show exactly that. We have possibly a masculine who needs to be needed a little bit, wants to be needed a little bit, wants to be told, like love me a little too much, show me that you're crazy about me because I need the reassurance. Like that's how this comes across. I'm not saying it's fair, but we all have times in our life maybe where we need a little bit more encouragement, or we need to be, I want to be loved too much. I think it's a country song. I can't think who sings it right now, but that's what that comes across as. Like I want somebody who's like crazy about me. It makes me feel safer, and then I feel like I can open up more. But that's kind of what it looks like. It doesn't seem like manipulative exactly, but it definitely feels like somebody who needs more like warmth, support, and that little nudge forward. Like, please tell me that I matter. AC, you angel. You're so sweet. AC, hang on. Let me grab you one right now. Just a second. AC, and then I'll get to Denisa, okay? Here we go. AC, we got a 4 of Cups. We got the embodiment of Swords. We do have somebody that's been protected until another person is transformed. The universe stepped in and said, no. I mean, it might feel like, why the heck am I getting sidelined? What did I do? And the universe's hand is here like, no, I'm preserving some space for you, because somebody else, a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, has to go through a transformation. Once they're the shiny blue iridescent beautiful butterfly, then they can step into your world. But hang on, we got to protect you first. Then it'll come through, okay? So I feel like someone, it's not like their whole life is on pause exactly until this King of Swords is ready. But if our character here feels like I haven't met somebody, or I haven't had somebody offer me anything too terrific lately, the universe is like, I know it's because there's somebody who could offer something really, really great, and they're entering our character's life pretty soon. So it's like sometimes, when it seems like nothing's going on, it's because something's being prepared for us. It's kind of like sitting there at a restaurant and we don't have anything to eat yet, but they're putting some food together. They're putting our appetizer together, and we didn't even know we were getting a free appetizer, but it's coming. That's what that looks like. All right, next up, Denisa, you're so cute. Are you guys having trouble seeing something? Hang on, I'm seeing some of the chat. Denisa, hang on, I'm scrolling down. Denisa, this is your storytelling right now, but hang on just a second. Sorry, I have to Oh, Denisa, there you sweetheart. Thank you so much. Oh, Sunshine, thank you again, babe. Just a second. Just a second, guys. I'm backtracking. Denisa, thank you for that. You are so incredibly generous. Hang on, Denisa. You were just gifted something by AC, but then also you just gifted me something. And by the way, guys, that is so completely unnecessary. Please know I'm doing this every week to say thank you to you guys for making my channel this amazing space that it is. So please just know that. But yes, I do want to be able to say thank you. So hang in there just a second, Denisa. We're going to actually get a couple more cards for you to honor AC's gift for you, and then also what you just gifted me. So we start out with the Devil, and then we go to that 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is sideways. That Devil card being upright says we do have somebody who's been fairly toxic, and that's, look, I feel like this person gets puppeted easily. We may have a divine masculine who's been fairly easily puppeted by whomever makes them feel like they're still not good enough. They got to earn more money. They could be displaying this because they have a wound that they haven't healed yet. So they're still either after money, or they're wrapped up with somebody who simultaneously makes them feel very small, like they're never doing enough. Like this doesn't feel like a masculine who's in a happy life, and yet they might still be staying because that's their wound. That's I'm in this people pleasing. The more somebody tells me I'm not good enough, the more I have to stick around to prove myself kind of energy. We have a Two of Cups in the reverse. If that's where they are in this story, it says, then they're not ready to be in a long-term commitment or a Two of Cups relationship yet, where somebody would treat them like $1,000,000 and say, oh my God, I'm so happy to be with you and you're worth so much to me. They wouldn't be able to absorb that. Not when they're over here still picking somebody who treats them like garbage and tells them that they're not worthy, because that's the wound that they have to heal. They're going to keep probably picking the person who doesn't treat them nice until they are able to say, hey, that's baloney. I'm not going to go ahead and feel that way anymore because I know that that's not true. But this is what they're working on. So until they can get there, they wouldn't be able to receive the love of a partner who would treat them well. So it's like, why would a character keep picking an unhealthy or unkind situation instead of somebody who'd treat them good? And it's like, well, because that's where their hurt still is. We have a Page of Coins sideways and we have the Judgment card upright. Look, I kind of feel like we have a feminine who could be part of that Two of Cups, who is understanding this. It might have been something that's recently been like, it's clicking, it's making sense. I'm not going to say I like it, and I'm not going to say I share that mentality, but I can kind of understand it in some small way. And if anything, God, I just wish them well. I hope that they heal. And if they ever do, if they ever come through that, sandstorm that they're still, hunkered down in, then you know what? I have unconditional love for this person. If things change and they come find me, great. But I'm not actually going to keep reaching out to them or waiting for them. I don't wait for them, but I certainly don't wish them ill, because that's the whole reason they're still stuck in a negative cycle right now anyway, is because they're not in a good space. So if anything, I wish them better. Temperance and Two of Swords. I kind of think this seemingly divine feminine is in a place where it's like, oh my God, I feel so much better. I didn't even know that was like this huge learning curve for me, and that maybe I've been protected from even dealing with this person while they still had really deep scars. Maybe that actually even helped me heal a scar in myself, because this is her, like the divine is like standing up clapping. It's like the stars want to step up and clap for her and be like, you got it. You're not bothered by their dysfunction. That's huge, huge, huge. And it's like, oh, that's what my lesson was in all this. Okay, that's kind of fantastic. I understand why something might not be for me at the moment. And it completely, like, there isn't any angst, there isn't any pain, there isn't any feeling of like, how come I can't have this? That's a huge relief in that message. I mean, huge relief. That's really nice to see. That's like, oh, I can breathe for our character now. So very, very good to see that part. You guys, thanks everybody. It's so good to see you all. Gee, let me get you one, sweetie pie. All right, here we go. Gee, here we are. We have got a Nine of Cups in the reverse. We got the Ten of Wands upright. Gee, that Nine of Cups in the reverse is, this is somebody who's not very happy at the moment, okay? But then the Ten of Wands says, I haven't been happy in a long time, but maybe that's one of the things to sail onward from. Ten of Wands is like when we finally lay down fear, guilt, shame, remorse, oftentimes things that aren't ours to carry anyway. And I'm wondering if we had a character who, for a period of time, they were carrying everybody else's burdens, feeling like there's no way I can be happy when other people aren't, or taking on other people's shame. And this is them saying, wow, that was a really heavy cargo ship. What the heck am I doing toting other people's traumas and dramas with me? I'm really not the pack mule for all this. And I kind of feel like we have a character that is laying down a certain amount of stress, pain, and pressure that was, I almost feel like this character wasn't sleeping well. I have to have one more on this because I'm nosy. Okay, there. That's why. Two of Wands. It's definitely about a character changing directions and saying, wait a second, I have the choice as to whether or not I'll let something bother me. I have the choice to determine whether or not I allow other people's stuff to piggyback on me and just weigh me down and make me have to carry all kinds of things. I have the choice of how I let something makes me feel. I feel like this is really an empath. It's an empath who has learned that I can't take on and fix the world's problems. I can't take on and fix a lover's problems. I can't, no matter how much I care, I'm realizing to be empathetic is one thing, but I can't like literally carry someone else's wounds and cry their tears for them or feel so stressed for them. I feel like this is a really good person, really good heart, who's learning how to still be compassionate, but put up a couple of like, walls around themselves as an empath so that they don't wind up absorbing other people's energy and then carrying other people's fears, pains, hurts, guilts, all of that. I think our character is about to be a lot more protected and a lot calmer and a lot happier. Oh my gosh. AC, you sweetheart. Thank you again, babe. AC just gifted 5 more memberships. Feral Rest, True Colors Melody, Blanche, Candy Monet, Manisha K. Welcome, all of you. You guys are so nice. Hang on just a second. Just a second. I've got to scroll down. Oh my God, AC, thank you again. Mazzy Moon, Angel R, Weirdo Love, Christina 111, Empress Energy. I can't even keep up. I can see, hang on, I have to backtrack. Sierra, you angel, you sent 10 memberships. Oh my God. Okay, hang on. I'm going to get lost here in just a second unless I can keep track. So just 1 minute, guys. I don't want to miss a chance. Hang on. AC, I will get back to you, babe. Sierra, thank you so much, Sierra. That was unbelievably generous. Sierra just gifted Brave Pink Hero Green, Heather Cowdrick, Crystal Jade, Kimberly Karma 144, Perfectly Imperfect Podcast, Helen, Gallet Marks, Rose, Mosin, Anna Paula Oliveria, excuse me. Oh my God, you guys, that is so sweet. AC, you're back in your Oprah era. You are so adorable. Everybody whose name I just mentioned, you guys are now all members, courtesy of Sierra and AC. Just know that means you guys can now pop into the members playlist, and there's every Monday I add to that playlist, and every Monday in our Monday members video, I always kind of explain how the members corner works. And so I just wanted you guys to know that you'll want to check that out, because every week I pick members in the members corner. And so I just want you guys not to miss out. Okay. Yale, hang on just a second. I'm going to get to you in this one also. AC, Sierra, Yale, and hang on, I'm missing somebody down here also. Just a second. Casey, yes, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Casey, I will get to you also in just a second here. Hang on. I feel like I missed somebody in here, and I don't want to make a mistake and not get a chance to say. Sorry, guys, I'm still reading. If you see my look of consternation, that is because I'm still reading. Okay, and let me see. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a couple of other names, and then I'm going to be over on the other channel right after this, okay? So let me go ahead, and I don't want to waste anybody's precious time. So what I will do is read out the list that I'm going to still get to right now here. Then I'll see you guys over on the other channel as soon as I'm done here, okay? So here we go. We're going to add in Norma. Whoops. Ooh. Norma Dominique's. Okay. An awkward Nisha. Let me grab you one, babe. And Moonbeam Wendy. And then I will end with, let me scroll on down. And Geo605, Georgette, I'll end with you, honey. Okay. So here's how this is going to run right now. I'm going to shut down the comments just so that I don't confuse anybody. Oh my God, AC, thank you again, babe. That is so incredibly generous. AC just gifted another 10 memberships. I am so blown away. Oh my God. Sarah, fairest of all, Jillian, Zona 133 Dawn, Supernova, The Limitless Babe, Summer Rain, Anonymous Angel, Wet Lobo 818, Lucy. All of you guys are now members courtesy of AC. Oh my God, thank you so much. Okay, so here's where we are. I'm going to, on this channel right now, I'm going to get to AC, Sierra, Yale, KC, Norma, Awkward Nisha, Moonbeam Wendy, and Geo 605 or Georgette. And so I will get to those ones here, and then I'll see you guys over on the other channel right after this. I'm just going to shut down comments on this one so that I can put in the final comment right here that says, okay, this one is going to be closed, and then I'll see you guys over on the other side in just a little bit. This chat is now closed. See you on KRL, Kate's Regretless Life, after this. Sierra, oh my God, thank you. Sierra just gifted to Brandy, to Victor, to Storm Hub, to Ash Digital 58, and to Dionysus F8. You guys are so unbelievably generous. Thank you so much, you guys. That is beyond kind. All right. Welcome to everybody that's a new member, courtesy of so many of you incredibly generous souls. You guys are so kind. So kind. If I've called your name out in this as a member, just know you can access the members corner now. Okay. So I'm going to close down comments for right now, only so that I can get to the names that I just mentioned that I'm still getting to on this channel. And then after that, I will go ahead and actually what I'm going to do is I'll have to set it to like, let's see, 16 years. There we go. Okay. So let me get to these last individuals whose names I just mentioned, and then I'll see you guys over on Kate's Regretless Life, and we're going to do the same thing over there. Okay. AC, let me get to you, then Sierra, then it'll be Yale, then it'll be Casey, and then Norma, then Awkward Nisha, Moonbeam Wendy, and Georgette. And that's how I'll end this out. AC, thank you a million times over, babe. You're so unbelievably generous. We have the Knight of Coins in the reverse. We have the 6 of Cups upright. We have the 5 of Coins upright. And we have the 8 of Wands upright. Okay. Knight of Coins in the reverse is timeline shift. 6 of Cups is soulmate energy. 5 of Coins is this incredible amount of sorrow or feeling like there's a missed opportunity somehow. And yet there isn't, because we have forward motion. Somebody took a really long time, and I think if we have a character who's almost given up on them and is saying, well, I guess it's just time to accept that there's been a timeline shift. This isn't truly the destination. That I must be making space for a new soulmate to come in. The only thing is that person who's taken a really long time and hasn't come forward, they seem to be either still in a place where they need to heal. You notice it's kind of like he's kind of like the Knights of St. John. They ruled throughout the Mediterranean for, God, like 500 years. Malta has like a really lovely old town history of when the Knights of St. John, walked the streets. It's very, very beautiful. And just the building style is, it feels like Crusades type building styles. But we have this knight, somebody who I think is honorable, somebody who's trying to do their best, but they seem to be either living a life where they continuously have austerity measures they impose upon themselves. Maybe love is not something they're allowing themselves to gravitate toward. And it does kind of say that we have two different people and two very different energies. And while it is a disappointment, it's like, why can't you choose the softer side of life? Why choose this life of austerity and roaming about and, living this knight's life with a sparse comfort? Why can't you come in from the cold and have a soulmate's energy around you? It just says that this character is somebody who maybe is not ready for that. However, with the 8 of Wands, that could either change things or that could bring in some kind of energy of dialogue, conversation coming in soon. No, we have a new person coming in. We have a King of Swords. We have a Six of Coins. We have got somebody that is, and I love this because actually they use the same, there's a card that I call the Maker in this deck, and they used his face for the King of Swords as well. So the card that I call like the Universe or the Maker is also the same face that we see on the King of Swords. And I just think that's an interesting side note, because I do feel like this is like a King of Swords, a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, who is being sent in as a soulmate. And if we look, we do have two people on this card anyway. So it may be that we have possibly a feminine who waited for a long time for someone who admittedly is honorable and is that maybe they work in medicine. Maybe they are like one of the Knights of St. John. They were the Hospitallers, you know, but you know, come on, they roamed around for 500 years. Maybe it's like, God, you've been staying out in the cold for a really long time, lifetime after lifetime. And although we had a chance again to be together in this lifetime, maybe you're not going to, because you're still out there on this knight's quest. But maybe my quest to bring you in from the cold is over, or I'm changing, and it in just the right timeline, because we have a King of Swords is kind of being sent in from the universe. This is the love story that I think our soulmate is supposed to have. She's supposed to have a different soulmate. I think she has more than one in this lifetime. And I think in this story, it hints that we have a feminine who got a little confused about which one was going to be her like partner in life. It turns out it's a different one than who she thought it was. It's somebody that's only just now starting to come toward her. It's somebody that's only just now on the horizon. And I think she spent a considerable amount of time wondering, when is this one going to be the one who comes in from the cold? I mean, it's got to be my soulmate. And it's like, well, it's a soulmate. It's just not the one that you end up with. The lover is this King of Swords, and he's just now on his way. So yes, we have a timeline jump, but it's for her. She's the one having a timeline jump because it's not who I thought it was. Oh, how interesting. Didn't we get the King of Swords with that card with the blue iridescent butterfly out of the other deck, right? That's kind of cool. It's really awesome to see the King of Swords come out twice tonight. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. AC, thank you again, love. Sierra, here we go, love. Thank you again so much. Sierra is so incredibly generous. I am just blown away. You guys are so incredibly kind to me, to each other. Thank you for everything. We have a Queen of Swords in the reverse. We have a Page of Cups sideways. Two of Cups upright. Page of Coins upright. Six of Wands upright. Okay, so Queen of Swords in the reverse. This is somebody who is a little salty, a little angry, a little pissy. And then we've got this energy of the Page of Cups being sideways. That's like, okay, I'm salty. I don't really want an apology either, because it's not going to fix it. But with this Two of Cups and the Page of Coins, I almost feel like it's changed. I feel like this is all the story of a feminine, perhaps, who probably rightfully so. Look, we don't usually get a Queen of Swords in the reverse pissed for no reason, right? Because she's very articulate, she's very fair, she's very balanced. If she gets big pissed and says, I don't want a freaking apology, what I want is things to be different, I would say she probably dealt with that anyway. This could be somebody who is very irritated, very pissed, and knows darn well why she's pissed, and also knows, yeah, but there's nothing I can do about it. When you either work through it, like she's, you know, people can be really mad and also be really intelligent and spot on and say, I want to be mad right now. I'm railing at the unfairness of it all, even though I know darn well it's something I have to go through. It's not anything that can change. That's why an apology is useless, because it's not going to fix what is. So I accept both what is, and I also have a right to express my piss-offedness about it. But at the same time, I'm very much in control of the entirety of it, because I can see the whole, you know, scenario for what it is. It's unconditional love. And it sucks when there's unconditional love. But in this case, this isn't some happily ever after at the moment. Instead, we revert right back to a Page page is not what we expect to see. We should have expected to see, you know, emperors, empresses, kings, and queens coming together. Instead, it's like I have unconditional love for somebody that is nowhere close to being able to be a person that I can be with. We're all the way back down to like minor arcana and pages. So big, huge love, little bitty real life action in the 3D. And yet it's like, it sucks. But on the other hand, it is what it is. And look, all I can say is I'm so glad to know, I'm so glad to have the unconditional love that I have for a person, even if I wish it was something that was more mature and ready now. Instead, they might be out there. In this case, we may have a masculine who's still trying to, like, you know, just pursue what he needs to build his character, his confidence. And sometimes we choose shallow victories. We need a lot of people to clap for us. And it's like, you know what? Okay, so he needs to go out into the world and get his applause as he character develops himself. So you know what? I have other things that I personally would like to go off and do. We keep kind of seeing her a little bit more advanced because minor arcana to me, you know, falls below the court cards. But we see her saying, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, there's a whole bunch of stuff I'd like to do, and it's kind of exciting. And if he's out there building his character, I'm out here developing things that I want to too. So it actually works out pretty good for everybody. We got the Judgment card upright. Judgment is all about, like, I got to make decisions and I got to go for it and I got to go ahead and pursue my real, like, outcome, and I can forgive what it is. And I can also trust that if this is going to come back around at some point, I can have this reconciliation with them. It doesn't impede me after all. It doesn't impede me building, growing, developing other things in my life. And maybe this is a blessing in disguise. And I'm kind of coming around full circle. So we took her from pissed off to acknowledging it is what it is. It's unconditional love. And by the way, it doesn't really impede my life from growth. And by the way, you know what? Now that I've continued on my journey, I'm realizing, who knows, I could still end up with this person someday. If it's meant to be, it shall be. We see her coming full circle and just feeling so much more relaxed and relieved. And I think it's because of the perspective shift in all this. Unconditional love remains regardless. When our journeys are more fleshed out and completed, then who knows, this love really might still blossom. But that remains to be seen. In the meantime, there's adventures ahead for her. But she's not discounting this person, nor is she waiting on this person. It's just, it is where it's supposed to be, all said and done. And there's this huge sense of, like, relief that it's right where it's supposed to be. All right, next up, Yale. Here we go, love. Thank you so much, Yale. Delighted to get a little card pull for you. We have got the Six of Pentacles, and we got somebody possibly tidying up their house, making their home ready, maybe for guests. This could be that there's a subconscious awareness that somebody is coming back, coming to visit. This could be the energy of, like, oh, somebody's coming back home to roost. Birds are migratory. We come back to a nest. We have a Queen of Cups. We have the Fool. I definitely feel like we're heading for, if not reunion, a kind of union. Like somebody's coming to visit. Somebody's about to take this brave leap. And it could be that we have whomever is in the role of the feminine, it never matters whom, but she's sensing it. The feminine is going to be the gravitational pull. She's the one receiving. So I'm going to say that's probably why she's here. So whomever is in their feminine energy, their intuitive energy, sensing that, like, I know something is coming and I need to be ready for it. I might wash the sheets in the spare room, or I'm for some reason, I'm just feeling like I'm getting myself energetically prepared for something to pop into my life. Now, this could say it won't be what she expects. That Fool card could represent an Aries pumping in, somebody bringing their little white puppy dog. Hopefully Aram will like that. But we have the Page of Wands. See, I don't know. I kind of feel like we have a potential romantic interest, or there's going to suddenly be asked out. Sometimes the things that come into our life, it's not so much that they show up at our home for a visit, it's that they come into our world, come into our life. And that's where it's like, wow, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect you. I didn't expect to have a visit to my heart. maybe somebody's about to get a puppy dog or something, but I would say it's more along the lines of we have a character that is sensing. My heart is in a really like wide open space. I'm ready to receive. So universe, go ahead. If there's somebody out there thinking about coming my way and I'm kind of sensing something is on its way into me, yes, I will take that adventure. Sure. Send them my way. With a page of wands, the one thing I can say for sure is that this is going to be something our character actually is interested in. If it's romance, it's like, oh, this is nice and spicy. Yeah, there's a spark of attraction and interest here. If this is somebody asking our character out. If this is somebody coming for a visit or like a business opportunity, again, it would be something that it's there's intrigue here. Our character would be down for this, which is always really nice to see that a character would actually be happy about this. So very nice. All right, next up, KC. Here we go, love. KC, then I'll go to Norma, then Awkward Nisha, Moonbeam Wendy, and Georgette, and then I'm going to bounce on out of here and go to the other channel. We have a Knight of Cups. We have the World. Let me get just one more on that. Knight of Cups. The reason I have to have another card is because that Knight of Cups shows somebody almost in the astral travel realm, thinking about another person, coming to them in the night and, you know, offering them some sweet nectar. Like, I send you my love. I think about you. I send you good vibes. We have a Three of Cups. I definitely kind of think that this shows we have a character who's been like called to send their love to another person. Could be to a Capricorn or could be to somebody who lives in a different place. The world can represent distance, but particularly around this World card, I almost think that the reason our character is having a really strong pull to thinking about somebody, particularly maybe at nighttime or having dreams about them, might be because this person is thinking about them with that Three of Cups. It's like, I'm thinking about you too. I'm thinking about the good times. I'm thinking about, you know, I wish you were here kind of thing. It might be daytime where they are and nighttime where she is. And she might be dreaming about them, like literally sitting here having drinks or a meal together. And it's because it's actually what's going on in the daytime for wherever they're at. And she's over here in the nighttime dreaming about them or vice versa. There's something here about possibly being in different locations, but on the same wavelength, because this World card has all of these like little spider web lines of connectivity, you know, from the moon to the earth and all these spider web lines connecting them. So I would just say that we have two people energetically bonded and they're thinking like, I wish you were here right now. I'm thinking thoughts of you. It actually feels very sweet. I don't know that I would 100% say that it had to be romantic, but it definitely looks kind. It looks sweet. All right, next up, Norma. Here we go, love. Norma, what do we have? We've got the Two of Wands, but we also have the Judgment card. Norma, let me grab one more. That Judgment in the reverse at Scorpio. Oh, wow, Two of Cups. It looks like maybe the reason somebody's struggling to make a decision about what they want to do with something is because it's like, look, I may not be able to deal with them right now, but it doesn't mean that I don't wish I could. There's unconditional love here, but there's also the choice to say, I can't just take them back into my world unless we can do this. Otherwise, it's going to be too damn destructive. My impression is that somebody has to get grounded. And it could even be that we have a character saying, look, we could be great together. I care about you. I know we could be amazing together. But if you're still in a very immature phase, no, do not come back to me or do not try to get with me when you aren't ready for this, because it's this or nothing. And it's not because I don't love you. It's because I can love you regardless, but I won't like let you in unless you're ready for this. And I just feel like this is a character who's like, we don't have to be cohabitating or dating or being around each other to still love one another. But I'm not going to bring in anything that is kind of immature or destructive or, you know, somebody who can't be stable. I can love you from afar and I know you love me, but we also have to function together to be able to cohabitate. And if we can't right now, then I need to just love you from afar. This just feels like somebody who's like, I'm not pissed about this. I don't have to worry about this. If the bottom line is I can love somebody and still not be like in the day-to-day life with them. and it doesn't change the fact that I love them. And there's a sense of reassurance in that. This is like a huge sense of peace, because I don't have to take the upset or the traumas of dealing with somebody who loves me, but they're just not, whole, or they're not healed enough to be in a great relationship. But I don't have to be devastated over the fact that they're not ready for that yet. So it's just kind of nice to see there's not, it's a realistic viewpoint of, we got to do what works, and not pretend that we can take on things that don't work right now. But it also doesn't mean that we have to hate the person. I actually really like that message. All right, next up, awkward Nisha. Here we go, love. What do we have? We have a 3 of Swords and a 5 of Cups. Somebody is feeling the feels right now. Maybe raining wherever they are. This could be somebody who is, I don't know, are they reflecting on a mistake that they made? Did they lose somebody that they love because of their actions? 10 of Wands, they're sure feeling some guilt over it. I feel like somebody hurt another person, and they're the ones sitting with the action that they took. And it sucks to know, like, oh my God, I'm the one who caused this. But if we never feel guilt over something, then we never maybe take accountability. And if we never take accountability, then we never change and stop doing those things. So although this person is still hauling the boulder up a hill, it does say, in this case, there might be a reason. This whomever caused an ending or caused somebody else pain, and this could be anything. This could be a petty little argument. This could be somebody who was, rude. This could be something simple or something big. But whatever it was, yes, they do feel embarrassed of it, or ashamed, or like I caused some real grief. And that's unfortunate, but that's the only way they were going to change anything either. Yeah, they're sitting in some regrets, and they're sitting in some shame. Sorry, I just became Sean Connery, and then I mush my S's together, and then pretty soon I'm cussing without meaning to. My apologies. All right, Moonbeam Wendy. Here we go, love. Thanks for your patience with me. All right, here we go. Right after this one, after Moonbeam, and then after Georgette, I'll be over on the other channel for about a half hour. We get the 10 of Pentacles upright, we've got the Hierophant upright, and we have got the 7 of Pentacles sideways. This is looking pretty sweet. It's looking pretty good, but with that 10 of Pentacles, there's like a whole family involvement. There's a marriage here. The only thing is, this looks like a really well fleshed out, huge growing tree of life, right? And then it looks like we have, maybe this is a situation where there was already a lot of history, a lot of happy history, because we got grandparents, grandkids, the whole spectrum of, a young married couple, grandparents, kids, this huge tree of life. But then we have 2 people sitting in the classroom in the universe saying, hey, now, marriage is one of those things that we learn a lot about ourselves. We make mistakes, we grow. It almost feels like this is saying that there has been a long period of good things, also some fumbles, but it kind of feels like a relationship is being going to be recommitted to, or the concept of long-term partnership it's had its wobbly moments. And at the same time, we have a character who's redefining things a little bit, recommitting to it, seeing it in a different light. It's not always glorious and perfect. It can get, messy and wobbly, but then it still is worth doing, is what it kind of says. I could see this as 2 people reclaiming a relationship, recommitting after having some bumps in the road. That 7 of Pentacles says, how many more bumps are there going to be, though? I don't want a whole bunch more bumps. We've been doing this a long time. We should be getting more proficient. And it's yeah, but maybe these 2 have upped it to the next level, and that's why the lessons are different. You take general math classes, and then pretty soon you get up to, algebra, and then, eventually you're in calculus and stuff. And it's I thought I already passed math. And it's yeah, but this is a new math. This is going to be another tougher one. It feels like this keeps improving, even though there's some new lessons to learn, but it feels like things are deepening, and I don't see anybody tapping out. I see the concept of this shifting and changing, but I actually see it kind of getting better, more mature, if that makes sense. honestly, it looks pretty good. Like the concept of love and long-term relationship actually looks better, not worse. All right, and now Georgette, last but not least, my dear, we have got an 8 of Wands, we have got the 9 of Pentacles, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Somebody wants to talk. They want to talk about new beginnings. This is possibly a masculine, possibly an earth sign, doesn't have to be, but after a time of crickets, there's been no contact, silence. Somebody wants to talk about the past, talk about starting over again. They had to go like build their confidence, but they got a lot to say. And I do feel like it's words spoken from the heart. So whomever this is, we do have fire energy and earth energy. We have somebody who really wants to speak from the heart, but it is about new beginnings. It is about the possibility of having a new beginning. But it is after a time period of no contact, is what that said. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. You guys, thank you, everybody. It's really nice to see you. Thank you for all the incredible generosity. Oh my gosh, you guys are so lovely. Thank you, everyone. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, you guys, hang on. I'm scrolling down. So I closed the chat some time ago because I have to go over to the other channel now. And so I closed the chat down on purpose so that I could, like not have any more people adding in because I have to get to the other channel. And yeah, thank you again, sweetheart. You just gifted 5 more memberships to 42 Divine, 53 Collect, Kelly Lavoy, Star and Justice, Chelsea, and Myra Cespedes. Welcome. You guys are now members, all courtesy of Yale. Oh my gosh. 11D8. I'm sorry. I'm going to go over to the other channel, babe. 11D8. I want to be able to say thank you to you over there. Okay, honey. I'm going to get you a little card pull over there. You are so generous always. You'll be the first I get to over there. Mohsin, I will say thank you to you also on the other channel, but I have to get over there next, okay? Because I was supposed to be there 30 minutes ago. So Mohsin, thank you so much here, babe, but I have to go over to the other side, okay? All right, you guys. I'll see you over on that side. Bye for right now.